Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Eau de Treasure. I have two beauties right here. I'm going to open one of them in this video. I'll do this one in the next video. This one, we are going to open a very nice vintage bottle of Calvin Klein Eternity. This could be a grail. We're going to explore this one together. This might be a first or second year Calvin Klein Eternity. And luckily for you guys, this one has already been opened. So I'm going to spray this, tell you what I think, tell you what's in the bottle. We're going to look at the box and the bottle, try to determine what year this came out. I'll tell you how I found it, how much I paid for it, and we will explore this one in this episode. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. Discontinued, vintage, rare, and interesting fragrances that I find here on my fragrance journey in Japan. Awesome stuff. All right, let's check this one out. Eternity for Men, a Calvin Klein classic. This one is from 1990. Carlos Benaim is the perfumer. Let's take a look at the box here. It's a cardboard, a very thin paper, almost like a business card stock. This exclusive formula. Okay, we got some ingredients. Eternity for Men. Calvin Klein Cosmetics, New York. Let's look at the bottom. There's a price tag on it. NM, Neiman Marcus, $42.50. Is there a batch code under here? I'm trying to see if this is actually a barcode sticker underneath there. Yeah, that doesn't help. I see some numbers down below. But it looks like this store had its own SKU. It had its own barcode. I'm going to leave it on there. So this might be a pre-barcode box. Now, the barcode supposedly started around 1990. So this is at least a 1991 or 1990. I think this is a first one, guys. Let's open her up and see what's going on inside here. Wait till you see how much is left in this bottle. Wait till you see the condition this thing is in. No mold or anything in there that looks bad. Everything looks all right. Just a little bit worn, lightly worn. Little fold right there. But this is actually really in clean condition. Let's look at the bottle. So it's the big 100 ml bottle. And look at the amount that's left in it, guys. This thing is nearly full. Look at that. There's a small bubble on top. It's hard to believe. One this old that hasn't been used. There's a little bit of residue here. You can kind of see it right there. It wasn't, see, whenever I spray it, you'll notice that I kind of wipe it with my finger when I'm done spraying it. I don't want any drops or any moisture to get on it because these are oils that dry and this is what happens. So I always wipe it off when I'm done using it. But I think this can be cleaned off. I'm going to polish this thing, brighten it up a little bit. Vintage ones have this metallic sticker on the bottom, and the batch code is right there, B102. Now, how did I find this thing? Well, there are tons of Calvin Klein Eternity being sold here online in Japan. This is a very common fragrance, and for some reason, I just clicked on it. I'm not sure why I clicked on this particular one. I don't really look for Eternity. Anyway, I was clicking around on the websites. I clicked on this one, and I saw that it said Eternity for Men in capital letters. And because I had a video about Calvin Klein Obsession for Men, that's where I saw that the for men in capitals means it's a vintage formula. It's a vintage bottle. And then I saw on the bottom, cologne spray. This looks like a vintage bottle to me. I couldn't see the bottom. I couldn't see if there was a barcode anywhere on this. I could just see, basically, this is what the picture showed on the website. So when I saw those things, I saw that this thing was full and in clean condition. Nobody had bought it yet. It was online for like 5 days. So I didn't feel like a pressure to buy it right away. I jumped down a rabbit hole of research, so to speak. I went online. I went to eBay. I saw what vintage bottles were selling for. I tried to see what vintage bottles looked like. And apparently the ones that say For Men cologne spray are the vintage ones. I saw a 50 ml from 2001, the one that says Unilever on the bottom. That one sold for $130 plus shipping. So I was like, all right, there's some value with this one if this is the real deal. And then I thought about Raiders of the Lost Scent, and I said, maybe there's a Calvin Klein article. So I went to Raiders and typed in Calvin Klein, and wouldn't you know it, just a few weeks ago, like a month ago, it was recently updated with Calvin Klein information. All right, guys, I just spent a couple minutes looking this up on Raiders of the Lost Scent. I was reading about this before when I first bought it. It was very interesting. I went through the whole Calvin Klein article. It says that this is an American type batch code that has a letter and 3 digits. It says the last letter is the year it came out. So that would mean that this is logically 1992. But this metallic sticker says New York on it. It doesn't say Paris or London at all anywhere. And in 1991 or after 91 or 92, it said Paris, London, New York on it. It had other cities. And in 1989, they show a picture of a 1989 sticker. It looks exactly like this one. It says that the first year on Raiders was 1989. On Fragrantica, it says 1990. I don't know who to believe. I want to believe Raiders of the Lost Scent over Fragrantica, to be honest. I think this is a 1989 or a 1990. Unless this sticker and box are old stock put on a later bottle, which is definitely true. They might have put an old sticker with a current batch code. So in 1992, they put this batch code on and they used an old sticker. But I'm not sure. Maybe this is a 1989 or a 1990 with some strange batch code on it. I don't know. But this is definitely a grail. This is a beautiful bottle, a nearly full vintage Calvin Klein Eternity for Men. All right, let's give it a spray. Let's give it an initial spray. All right, sprayer still works. Let's rub some of the residue off. Supposedly, this one, the earlier batches, of course, smell the strongest. And this one is nice and strong. Yep, this is the Eternity scent that I know, that I'm familiar with. You guys remember when Calvin Klein Eternity came out in the late 80s or early 90s? Do you remember those black and white advertisements in the magazines? I remember them. I think it was Kate Moss was the model that was in advertisements. I remember they were like really muscular, but not like bodybuilder, like very skinny, muscular models that were like leaning up against Greek columns or something like that. That's just my memory from 30 years ago. This one has a lot of notes in it. I'll read you off the notes according to Fragrantica. The top notes, lavender, lemon, bergamot, and mandarin orange. The middle notes are sage, juniper berries, basil, geranium, jasmine, coriander, orange blossom, lily of the valley, and lily. And in the base notes, you have sandalwood, musk, vetiver, Brazilian rosewood, and amber. This is one of those fragrances that's really well blended, and I can't really pick out any prominent notes. It's just a very smooth composition overall. I would say at the time this was definitely different than the 80s powerhouse fragrances that were coming out before it. This is very different than Obsession for Men. This is not as spicy as that one. It is very masculine. I do get a little bit of the lavender mixed with the light citruses on top. I really could sense like a change in Calvin Klein because I know what Calvin smells like. I know what Obsession for Men smells like. And this one and then Escape came after this. You can see the evolution of how Calvin Klein fragrances were kind of moving more to be unisex. And of course you have Calvin Klein CK1 that came out in the mid-90s. That was a huge hit and billed as one of the first unisex fragrances. It's been a few minutes, but as this is drying down, it still feels like it's performing pretty well. I still smell the projection. I wave my hand in front of my face. It's not gone yet, so it still smells pretty good to my nose. And the important thing is it doesn't smell sour. It doesn't smell like it's off. It still smells pretty much like I remember Eternity to smell like. I didn't tell you how much I paid for this. So yeah, I told you how I found this thing at random. I just clicked on the picture. There it was. I saw it was a Capital for Men cologne spray. Saw the price. The price was 4,000 yen, which is $27. I didn't buy it right away. I was looking at some of the other Calvin Klein Eternities just to see if that was a good price. Most of them were modern bottles. I didn't find any others like this. The price was $27, and I said, click, I'll take it. What do you think of Calvin Klein Eternity, the original EDT? I know there's a EDP, Eau de Parfum. I think there's a parfum out, and that's the one I tried in the store. I actually like it. I think it smells pretty good. Sadly, Eternity doesn't get a good rating on Fragrantica. This one is rated like 3.79 as of this video, which isn't that high. I would give this like a 4.1 rating. I would give this over a 4 rating because the smell is really nice. It's a clean, masculine scent. It reminds me of the 90s, definitely. Maybe it's a little dated for today, but for those of you guys that like vintage fragrances, there's nothing wrong in wearing this. The performance of the recent batches isn't that great, and Coty has been making these fragrances since 2005. And the talk is that they're all watered down. They don't perform well anymore after that. So if you see Coty on any of these stickers, guys, I would pass it up and look for one that says Unilever or just Calvin Klein Cosmetics, and go for that if you want the original formulas. So that's all I got for this one, guys. Just want to say thanks for your sub, thanks for liking the video, and leave me a comment down below. What do you think of Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein, or any of the flankers? Let me know if you love this classic. All right, I got that awesome video that's coming up, this Creed Aventus bottle. I can't wait to get to that next. I saved my left hand for testing on that one. So come back for that video, guys. Hope you're doing fine out there. Hope you're doing well. And until the next video, take care.